Okay, so now I'm going to play part 2 of the Bach Giga. I'm going to back up so you can see my whole hand here when I play this. Okay, so I'm gonna play the second part. I'm gonna move my stand a little bit. Okay, and again, I might stop on some of those sections that go back and go over some of those spots that are a little bit harder. But really, I think the second half of this is easier. Of course, watch, I'll totally biff and mess up. Okay, so we just finished the first half. Then we go. The whole last line I could have played a lot better. So since we're there, we'll start there and kind of go backwards. So this is the very last, the last line. Start on an up bow, and you're playing this E flat. To hear the next note, the best way is don't play the whole double, the whole chord. Play, stop on the E natural. So I'm going to play just the single notes. So it's going to sound like this. Okay, so then you add the other notes on top of it. And playing that open G string isn't going to sound right. It's not going to sound like, ooh, yeah, oh, that's beautiful. It's tense. It's like it's sustaining something that's going to go on and resolve, which then it resolves to. So going down that scale, then C sharp, B natural, okay, so that's that part. Now, so this whole second half, it's so similar to the first half as far as how it goes. You can almost sing along with it because it's kind of like the first half as far as like the and this part. Now this part, do you remember in the beginning of the first part where you go, you do that 4-3, but it's extended, and then bring your 4 back? This is really exactly the same thing. It's just you don't put a double stop in there. He's just separating all those notes out. So the measure before 65 and 64. So I go. Okay. So it's. And the hardest, most challenging part about this whole part is those huge string crossings. Okay? So getting from like a lower note up to that high note, or a high note down to the low note and back up. That's the tricky part. So just remember, with Bach and Baroque, you don't have to be on this absolute rigid, you know, you can draw certain notes out a little bit longer. And if you listen to recordings of it, that's how they do it. Okay, that's not just a cheater's way of playing it. It's actually how they play it. Okay, so like in the spots, I will sound far from professional when I do this, but you get the idea. Where was I at? So like in 65, when you're doing that, oh, I played the wrong note. See how I kind of da 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 ba 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 da da da. Okay, and you'll find those spots, those same kinds of things in other places. Okay. All right, then another tricky little place. So back at the beginning, bum bum, or bum 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 bum. Make sure you get a B flat. Third position. Set first position. Then here, go to second position. So this part, I think about that section in the humoresque that you may have played, that remember that? Well, now I'm going to play this part and you're going to go, wow, same notes, right? So okay, same kind of deal. You put all of these fingers together. Okay? So I go, try to slant it here so you can see my fingers. Then second position. Now here, scrunch them all together. And then you go back to first position, do an open. Okay. So I think that spot right there is maybe the second hardest place in this second half. And then the other kind of weird place is in measure 49. And that's that spot where it's kind of like measure 19, but not quite as wicked as measure 19. So in measure 19, we talked about that E natural, playing it like a grace note. Same thing. We're going to treat that top note like a grace note. Okay? So you're already on it, playing the note before it. Okay, so you go. Right? And that sounds like a train whistle. Okay, so you go. So you're going to finger it exactly like it's written, okay? But just treat that B flat like it's a grace note and concentrate on the bottom notes, not on that top note. That top note is just kind of fluff, all right? So now you're immediately going to go to second position and then go back to slide back to first. Okay, so I'm going to play that again really slow so you can see my fingers. So I'm going to start a couple measures before that. So oh, I messed it up. So that's probably the toughest places in there. Not too bad. I think the second part of it's easier than the first half with a couple tricky spots there. Okay, so with everything else, start slow, and as you get better, go, bump it up just a little bit more on those spots where you really have to hash through those notes. Do separate bows. Don't worry about trying to get the bowing in there until you kind of go, oh, okay, I get it, and then add the bowing in, and then slowly get faster. Okay, good luck with it, and we'll see you around town.